everything. I'm actually in front of the work computer, so we're good.
Right on. Well, hey, so we're live now. This is part two, everybody. But because, for posterity, I guess, Roland, let everybody know all about you and where they can find you. Let's do that again.
So for those of you that watch part one, you noticed the background changed. I'm no longer on the floor of my shop. I actually had to go in the back room to charge my phone and plug it in. But I am currently at Cosmic Comics here in Las Vegas. I am their back issue manager. I work after hours taking care of stuff. In fact, I don't know if you can see it over there, I got boxes of Uncanny X-Men that I'm going through tonight and tomorrow and next week.
Dude, speaking of Cosmic,
yes.
I keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry.
No, go right
Look
ahead,
at what I
man.
got. Look at what I got in the mail the other day from Jim.
Oh, okay. One of his small
How
things.
cool is
those
that?
Are fun.
I like, dude. I have so many. Like, I've got this one.
Yep.
I've got this one. He did one for my birthday that was just like a single, like, big card thing. Like,
okay.
I freaking love Jim, man. I miss that dude so much. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he stops in to hand out some of those and to check in and everything. So yeah, it's fun, man. Good to see Jim.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I am in our back room, taking a little time here to talk some wrestling with Dork Knight over there. You can follow me. Let's see if I can get the point here on my thing right there. That's me at Lucky Mussolino. That's me on Twitter. That's kind of where I'm most engaged at, where I talk about sports and wrestling and comics and a whole bunch of stuff.
It's like I think that's a Gen Xer thing, like Twitter, because like Twitter's the only one I like. When I left all social media, I didn't leave Twitter. I stayed on Twitter.
I prefer it for various reasons. I'm on Facebook, but it's mostly work stuff. It's mostly
exactly.
And
the only reason I'm on.
Yeah. I mean, I post and this is the one difference between Twitter and Facebook. Twitter is real time. Don't care about spoilers. We're talking about WrestleMania. Whereas if I'm on Facebook, I'm like, oh, did you see that match? Spoilers. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to go on Twitter.
Yeah, no, Twitter. Another thing I love about Twitter is like how you can block people or mute people.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. I love that. It's like, if you're a dick, I don't want to hear from you anymore. Just like,
but that's where you can find me or find the shop at Cosmic Comics LV, same LV like in Dork Knight's handle over there. But yeah,
which is for Las Vegas.
Exactly. Got to rep the LV.
It's backwards. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
I'm on my phone now, so like my camera's angles all messed up and everything. But we're going to be talking some wrestling. I'm going to give our some thoughts on WrestleMania for part one. We covered sort of the go homes and the after effect, and of course the conversation.
Well, it's mostly AEW. We had our we had my buddy Matt Vader on and
Rampage. We had Vader on from Salty Nerd Podcast, so we figured we needed to do another one to finish up our WrestleMania stuff. But yeah, if you guys haven't figured out already, we kind of like to ramble. We kind of like to get off topic, so this is going to be a long form podcast, But yeah, when we were in between the transition, we were going over some of the stuff. Seems to be what's left is Kevin Owens, Steve Austin from Saturday. I think it's the big one.
There's a few things. So like. Yeah. Actually, I want to ask you, but one you haven't brought up.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody and Seth. Dude, that's another one. Yeah.
Dude, when he came out, let's screw it. Let's talk about. We're going all out of order anyway. Like when he came out to his AEW music with his AEW entrance rising from the below in the middle, with his outfit and everything, I thought it was fucking glorious. I would love your take. Let's talk about this match.
So I love the match. I thought it was a really good old school wrestling match for the moves that they were doing, how they kind of told it. It wasn't WWE Superstar. It wasn't AEW. It wasn't an indie match. It just felt like this was. We're gonna body slam. We're gonna backbreaker. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna have some callbacks, but we're just gonna kind of just no high spots. Kind of more FTRs. Just let's just have a match.
Well, Cody did a couple high spots off the top rope.
They had it in there, but it wasn't flippy high spots. It was
right. Yeah.
Seth's high spots. Seth hit his reverse superplex Falcon Arrow. Okay, so we had some big stuff. We had some WrestleMania moments, but
Yeah.
it didn't feel sports entertaining. And
It didn't.
also
No,
yeah.
it was so. I love that match. For me, it was easily. I can't remember what was that Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night, right?
Saturday,
yeah, yeah. Match of the
yeah.
night for me. Like
Yeah.
it really was. Like
it probably was my favorite non-celebrity involved match of the weekend, and probably
okay.
and probably the best non-celebrity match of the weekend. But no, when
that night, well, I mean, yeah, well, shit, never mind. That was the same night as Kevin Owens and Stone Cold.
Yeah,
but,
which was a great match.
As far as well, it wasn't really though.
For
Anyway,
a
go ahead.
60-year-old, you know, he took
right.
He took suplexes on exposed concrete and
on the concrete.
stage.
I was worried. Like I was legit. Like I was like I felt like a dad. I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, you know, it's like you don't need to be doing that.
So, but no, I'm glad it was Cody. I'm glad he's over there. I'm glad he got that moment. I'm glad he was able to keep all of the Cody stuff. Some of it predates AEW, you know. I was worried that it was going to be Shane McMahon, but the way they started,
no, I put that on Twitter. Yeah, me too. I was like,
but once they kind of got into the production of the moment, I'm like, this is Cody. They're setting up for it. They're not going to swerve us. They know what to deliver. And sure.
So then let's talk about. I hate to do it, but we'll stay on the Cody topic.
Yeah.
Did you see his promo on Raw?
Oh yeah, the promo on
okay,
Raw.
Let's talk about that then. Well, yeah.
I mean, so the backstage reports are that it wasn't scripted. It was you could kind of free flow and talk. You could talk about whatever talking points you want, and just go out there and welcome back. And it felt a natural, emotional one. He did, you know, address how he got there, the 6-year difference, what he wants to do there. Kind of left things vague. Yeah, I want to go after Roman. Everybody wants to be the
shit with his dad though, like always gets me, man. Like I'm a softie for stuff like that, you know.
I mean, I'll admit, for those who didn't watch the first part of this, I was at the original AEW Double or Nothing here, him versus Dustin, when we started chatting, you know, Dusty. Like, I was welling up in the crowd like everybody else. You know, I was crying at the end of that match. So, yeah, there's definitely some feels and some emotional pull with him. So, but yeah, I thought it was a great welcome back promo. I thought it set himself up well for whatever they're going to have to do on Raw.
So are we in agreement that they're clearly setting it? This is why I was really, really disappointed. Cody wasn't on SmackDown, because they actually they advertised he was going to be, but he wasn't.
Right.
I don't know if you saw that, but like, they were like his first time on SmackDown and blah, blah, blah. And then he wasn't on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there, but they're clearly setting up Cody versus Roman, right? That's the next feud, you think? Or
the next feud?
For Roman.
I hope not. I hope he doesn't go into the Roman one right away. Just because Roman is going to win his next feud. And I don't want them to do what AEW has a tendency of doing, of the new signing, put him in the dream match, but you've booked yourself in a corner where somebody has to lose that shouldn't. Cody should win until Money in the Bank.
Roman, I hate to say it, I wish I was wearing, I'd be like, acknowledge me. I wish I was wearing my Roman Reigns shirt, but I'm wearing my Bret Hart shirt. But I wish like Roman's in God mode, dude. Like, who the hell is gonna face him if not Cody? Who's next?
They may just not have him be in a feud, and he's involved with the Usos unifying the tag belts.
Right. They talked about that tonight. Yeah.
So the next pay-per-view is the May one. It's Backlash. It's kind of a down one. He may not be involved wrestling anybody. He may be in the Usos corner, and that could be your main event for Backlash.
Okay.
You know, I'm assuming Backlash is the next.
It is. No, they already said it. It's not just Backlash anymore. It's WrestleMania.
WrestleMania Backlash, which is the May one, and then you have Money in the Bank in June, right?
Well, they changed it last year, so I actually don't know what.
Okay.
there's no
July.
telling
Okay.
what it's going to be. Yeah.
But I mean, like, you could feasibly have Roman not in a feud until after Money in the Bank. You know, like you could set it up. You could feature Ronda, Charlotte. Looks like they're getting a rematch. You could have him
Would
involved
you
in the
have
tag.
would you book Cody to win Money in the if you think that's the case, would you book Cody to
No,
win Money in the Bank? No?
no.
Okay.
So this is my thoughts on Roman. Roman carries the belt until Rock. Whenever they do Roman Rock,
Oh wow. So at that
yep,
point, he would be the longest reigning
yep,
champion of all
yep,
time if they don't
yep,
take it off of him until next
yep.
WrestleMania.
So he's going to hold it until the Rock program. He's going to beat Rock. He's
Oh
going
my
to
God.
he's going to be like, I've conquered everything, who's left? And then at that point, whoever beats him, you create that next main eventer.
Right.
And
You're
realistically, looking at everybody on the roster, that's probably Braun Breaker. It's too early for Braun now, but give him a year, he could be the one to dethrone
Did you
Roman.
watch shit, we didn't even mention this. Did you watch the Hall of Fame?
I saw the highlights. I usually don't watch the Hall of Fame.
So I usually don't either, but
the Steiners. I wanted to see Scott with Mike.
Yeah, no. So here's the thing. Everybody on this year's Hall of Fame. So I did. I watched the entire thing because I'm a mark for every single person that was inducted this year. Because Booker T. I've tweeted about this before. I've probably talked to you about this before. Booker T was so good to my son. I lived in Houston for years, and we would go to local things that he did with his stuff.
Yeah.
And he was so gracious, so awesome. Didn't charge, he's like, if hey, like we met him in the parking lot. Oh shit, hey, can I take a picture of you and with my son? And he wasn't like, yeah, that'll be inside for $10 or what. He's like, yeah, man, come on, let's take a picture. And then my son was like, oh, can you sign this for me? And he signed a thing for Booker T is the coolest dude on earth. I cannot say enough good things about the dude is a genuine good dude. And I forgot my point because it's
WWE Hall of Fame, Scott Steiner.
Hall of Fame. Oh, so okay. Reason I'm talking about him is because Queen Charmel is his wife.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I gotta check that out because I knew he stood up there the whole time. And then the Steiner brothers, man, so there's two kind of angles for me for the Steiner brothers. The Steiner brothers, I freaking loved in WWF at the time.
Right.
That's where I first saw them, even though I guess they were in WCW first or whatever. But but I first saw them in WWF, and I thought they were my favorite tag team.
Oh, okay.
For a long time.
Okay.
They really were. And then but then Scott Steiner with the whole Papa Pump thing and the controversy he had with WWE, I never in a million years would have thought they'd actually induct Scott into the Hall of Fame, right? So
they wanted to induct Rick, and Rick said, "Not without my brother." So that's what they did.
Well, then good. And I loved how Braun Breaker was like, I might be making the biggest mistake of my life or something. What did he say? Did you see that part where he's like, putting my uncle on the microphone might be the biggest mistake of my career. So, but then I'm sorry, Scott Steiner gives the moment of the night telling that fucking Macho Man cow tipping story or whatever it was, calling the cows. So it was great.
No, but I think that's how I think it plays out. If it doesn't play out like that fully, I don't think Roman's losing anytime soon. So because of that, I wouldn't pair him up with Cody because Cody shouldn't lose.
I like how you were like, hey man, you derailed us with the Hall of Fame. I'm going to put us back on the rails. No, I'm going to derail us again because I wasn't done talking about the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying it's how it flows like this,
Yeah. So I know you only watched the highlights. So the Vader stuff was cool. I'm a big Vader fan. It always sucks. It's always a bummer.
Yeah.
When people get stuff posthumously. Same thing with Shad Gaspard, but the way they handled that was beautiful to me, as a father. You know, it's like they just basically. I don't know if you saw the video package they did for him, but
I did. They had a little highlight for it on the main show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm not like. It almost made me cry. It really did. And then, but I tell you what, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway. Let me ask you something, man.
Okay.
I'll put money on this. That motherfucker, that speech, that was like his dry run of a TED Talk or some motivational shit he's going to start taking on the road. What do you think?
Oh, really?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
think about his 3 signature mental moves.
Yeah.
You know, like that seemed very like, oh wow, he's gonna go on the circuit. Like that's his post wrestling thing. That's how and I'm down for it. I don't
know if you've seen any, since he retired or towards the end, any of the out of character stuff he's done, like when he was on Hot Ones or a few other things. Like,
I've watched everything, bro. Okay. Everything. So even like him in the church thing that he did. Like, and then the church conference that he did with the same guy. Yeah. Like, I've literally watched everything. Like,
so, like, unlike other wrestlers, other characters that you can see who they are or everything, Rock, Triple H, even Mick Foley and Mankind, The Undertaker was always the stoic, doesn't speak. You never really get to see the person behind there. So to be able to
always stayed in character,
so
no matter what.
You never could see, what kind of career could he have post wrestling career other than just doing the con circuit, taking the photo signatures. So he's really taking the opportunity to figure out and to show I can do other things. Maybe he's not going to be a movie star. Maybe he hosts a podcast. Maybe he does a motivational thing.
I think he's going to do. I swear. I think he's going to get on the motivational speaking circuit. I really do because his Hall of Fame speech. That's what it felt like to me. And they gave him dude. He had the most time of any Hall of Fame speaker, like almost an hour he spoke.
Yeah.
It's
one of those things where it was his way to show everyone else, marketing, corporations, sponsors, whatever, I can do it. I have this ability. I'm not just the character. And
what do you think about the fact he didn't bring up Mick Foley? Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but he did not. He spoke for almost an hour and never uttered Mick Foley's name.
For what? For the Hell in the Cell? I mean,
dude, are you kidding me? Like, Mick Foley gave when Undertaker was fledgling way before Hell in a Cell. When Mick Foley was Mankind and like shitty Mankind, like sitting in the boiler room
and boiler room brawl,
doing all that shit, and like no selling the fact that he's Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was like in the beginning, Undertaker, in my opinion, I mean, and I love Undertaker, but at that time he was kind of fledgling, and he needed Mankind, and Mankind kind of the feud he had with Mankind, I honestly believe put him back on the map. Their feud is epic. It's like. They had the boiler room brawl, the buried alive match, like the hell, and then later the Hell in a Cell. And like to this day, people I talk to who don't watch wrestling know about that fucking Hell in a Cell match. You know what I mean?
They know about Foley getting thrown off the Hell in a Cell. That's what they know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They know the gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I didn't notice it. I don't think he needed to. He has spoken about Foley and about that match on documentaries ad nauseum. It's not like he goes around it. Maybe I don't think it's as important to his career overall. I mean, he was there before the Attitude Era. He was one of the big 6 of the Attitude Era. He was in Ruthless Aggression. Like he was there through so much of it. There didn't seem to be like one wrestler or one feud for him that stood out that he should talk about. Mr. McMahon.
Well, he talked about Kane. He talked about Papa
Kane was
Shango, or not
always,
Papa Shango, but like Godfather,
but Kane was like always there with him throughout it. He was his tag partner, He was his brother. He's the how
not, yeah, but
Kane got
like
introduced.
not until after 10, 12 years into his career, like
Yeah,
Godfather. So spoiler alert, kids. I'm sorry, Santa Claus isn't real. And the Godfather used to be Papa Shango.
Papa
And in
Shango.
between the two, he was Kama.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Undertaker wrestlered all of those dudes. But guess what? They were the same freaking guy.
Yeah.
And like, so I don't know. I almost feel like he was, if because Mick Foley wasn't there in person.
Yeah.
I feel like if he'd have been there in person, I almost feel like he was going off the fly in a way. Like he knew like certain things he was going to say, but when it came to thanks, like, oh, there's Stephanie. I'm going to thank Stephanie. Oh, there's Triple H. Oh, there's Shawn Michaels. Oh, there's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could be totally wrong.
That goes back to your motivational speaker stage kind of presence of how
right.
those are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I think I think he's set up for that, man. I would not be surprised if we see a Mark Calloway TED Talk. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't think it's a slight, I haven't seen Mick Foley say anything about it, so I think it was just,
okay.
Maybe just because it wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then back to WrestleMania did it too. They had a little highlight for the Hall of Fame, which I thought was cool, man.
Both
I love how they did Undertaker. He comes out, like, they have everybody out, introduce everybody, and then they do the Undertaker, and then he comes out, does his entrance, and then he doesn't even stand there with all of them for a photo op. He just walks right back to the back. It's like,
Undertaker does it. Yeah.
All right. So back to go ahead. Sorry.
Cody Seth. I wouldn't put Cody in there with Roman. Cody's going to want to stay face. I don't think he's going to have. He might not have that same desire like in AEW to. I'm never going to be heel. I could see him maybe continuing the program with Seth for a bit.
I think. Well, let me ask you about that. What do you make of Seth shaking his hand? I think that feud's over. I think that was so yeah. Like, talk to me, Goose.
What if they partner up? That's what I thought. What if Seth is going to offer a partnership to Cody, and this is let's maybe turn Seth face some more. Let's give Cody a little bit of a heel edge that the fans wanted in AEW.
See, I don't know. I could be a total mark.
Yeah.
Because Roads to the Top, even though it's a reality show, was produced by AEW. And even though they started shooting the second season when Cody left AEW for WWE, because it was produced by AEW, they canceled it and we'll never see, like, they had already shot shit. You know what I mean?
But they could do it again. I mean, Cody alluded in his press conferences, he has the most complex contract out of anybody.
Yes. So no, he does.
It could be
and he's still going to do
that.
If the Go Big show gets renewed, he's allowed to do that and stuff. No, I saw the thing about his complex.
No, I mean, if realistically, like if Roman doesn't have a feud or it's a filler feud because he's the unified champion, he's going to be with Usos.
So who's the filler feud? Like Drew McIntyre, maybe? Like who's your filler feud?
He might get started with Sammy after tonight. Is the Sami Zayn feud is going to
start? So who's the filler feud then? Okay, so who's the filler feud? If it's not Cody, who's next?
If it's not
answer
Cody,
me, damn you! Do it now.
Kevin Owens, maybe go kind of revisit that, or maybe you bring up to where it's a champ v champ thing and it's him versus Finn, or him versus Ricochet, it just. I mean, maybe Walter debuted tonight. Maybe he goes into it,
Dude, why did they change his fucking name? Like, why?
Because they don't own the rights to Walter, and they can make money off of Gunter.
Who owns the rights to Walter? That's weird. Okay, I didn't know
that's his real name. That's him.
So. That's why Braun Breaker isn't Rex Steiner, which I think is retarded.
Yep.
They should be playing off of the Steiner name, like it's Rex Steiner,
Yeah. but they can't make money
Especially
on
when at the Hall of
Steiner.
Fame, he inducts them. It's like, this is my dad and my uncle. Wait a minute, there's Steiners in your breaker. Like, come on.
But
Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Bray Wyatt wasn't Rotunda, you know. And
Yeah, no, I know.
yeah,
Well,
but
Rotunda wasn't Rotunda. He was Shyster. So
yeah, he was shyster. Yeah. In terms of who would go after Roman, I mean, personally, I would say no feud. Have him be in the tag division. You know, they could do it to where if the Usos do win the titles, Randy Orton goes after him. You know,
all right.
Randy
So
Orton
hey, so book this for me. Book the Roman thing.
Okay.
Tell me when he gets somebody. So if you're gonna, like, you're saying this tag thing. So I'm gonna tell you're
when he
booking
gets like a legit,
WWE.
he gets a
Yeah,
legit
yeah.
feud?
So from probably
SummerSlam
SummerSlam,
would be
right?
his
So
legit
so
feud.
book from now to SummerSlam for Roman for me. Let me hear
it. Basic structure would be filler feud for Backlash, wait and see for Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank winner doesn't go after Roman. He would go after Intercontinental or IC or NXT. So you keep him out of there. Then you start the program with somebody to lead into SummerSlam, and his first major feud, big threat, would be SummerSlam. Until then, you got 2 or 3 filler feuds, and you could do
Okay,
something.
so who's his SummerSlam threat? That's what I'm getting to.
The big one out of all of their big ones left, I would say it's probably 2 on the card. Revisit Seth, so Seth comes back and gets his rematch, or you have him go after AJ Styles, or
So
vice
both
versa.
of those are what I would call fillers. The Cody
Yeah.
thing writes its damn self. Why are you so against Cody versus Roman? You know,
Because
like
Cody
Cody
has to
comes
lose
out,
it.
he talks about his dad, he talks about the title picture, but his dad never actually held the title. No Rhodes has ever held the world title. You know, like his brother.
Cody has to lose. Roman doesn't lose until the Rock program or after the Rock program. It's too soon to give Cody a loss. Yeah, I mean, he can get a match loss, but he has to win the feuds. He's not winning versus Roman. That's why I wouldn't put him together. You know?
Okay. Okay. All right.
And honestly, that's a critique I have of AEW, of how they do their new signee gets put right in the big feud, and somebody has to lose, and they book themselves in a corner where nobody should lose, but somebody has to. I wouldn't do that with Cody.
We're not even 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
I have to pee. But so for like the next like 2 minutes, do like cut a promo on your comic shop. Can you do that?
Or I could just kind of talk about some WrestleMania thoughts in general.
No, because I don't want to miss your wrestling talk. While I'm gone, I want you to cut a commercial. I want you to cut a promo on the comic shop.
Okay.
Which, before my comic collection of over 30 years was stolen, I used to frequent that shop, and I do still have a pull box, but it's for my son because he gets the Sonic comics. But so it's almost good I'm gone for this part because I don't want to cry.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go pee. You cut a promo, but you gotta. Here's the deal: you got to keep it running until I come back to stop you. Okay.
Will do. Okay. I can ramble.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll be back.
All right. Okay. There we go. So obviously I work in a comic book store. I like comic books. I'm a nerd like that. I do like wrestling. I do like sports. I'm one of those jack of all trades kind of unicorns who likes all of it. So maybe this isn't for you, but I could probably tell you that I have something in my store for you. If you don't like capes, if you don't like Spider-Man or Superman, I got crime, I got sci-fi, I got horror. If you walk in here and talk to me after our conversation, I'll be able to put a book in your hand that meets what you enjoy reading and you can do. And that might even be wrestling, because believe it or not, there are WWE comics that they have made. Most recently, Boom Studios had a long run with WWE, and then they had an NXT miniseries, and they just had a 2-part New Day Power of Positivity series. So there's even wrestling comics out there, even WCW comics from back in the day. So I'll be able to find something for you in there. several of my employees are wrestling fans. We're happy to talk wrestling shop. A lot of my customers are wrestling fans and nerd fans and everything like that. So we'll all be able to have it. Right now, it is April 9th. We're here at the beginning of April. In about 1 month, which would be the first, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on May 8th is Free Comic Book Day, which is a national free comic day that all of the shops and all of the publishers participate in. It's been, oh, that was fast. I'm still going.
Oh, hey, you know what? Then I'll smoke a cigarette. I'll be back.
Go ahead, smoke a cigarette, man. We'll be good. So Free Comic Book Day, it's going on at like 16, 17 years. It's a day that they pick where publishers make specific comics to give to me that I give out to my customers, to you guys for free, just for walking in the door. You're going to have your heavy hitters like Batman, Avengers, Turtles. You're going to have some more smaller titles like Judge Dredd, Doctor Who, all ages kids books, all of that stuff. We're going to have, this is our first free comic book day back in earnest since the shutdown in 2020. So we haven't had one in like proper one in 3 years. So we're going to have books. We're going to have local Las Vegas artists doing sketches for you, and they'll sketch wrestling characters for you on there. They'll be able to do that. I'm sure they'd love that because it kind of flexes their artist muscles and chops and everything that they do there. And then they'll be able to talk to you about stuff like that. You come in and show me, I'll show you my wrestling sketches that I have gotten over the years. But we're going to have that. We're going to have free comics. It's just going to be a fun day. It's the first Saturday in May. Can walk in, get some free books, don't have to buy anything, just kind of look around and be like, oh, this is a pretty cool thing, talk some wrestling and move on. So we are going to have that in May. We're going to have that here. All the shops are doing it. So even if you do other shops so you don't live close to us, we're at Flamingo in Sand Hills, so we're on the east side of town over here. You can go to any comic book shop, try it out. It's kind of cool. If not, if that's not your thing, that's all right, man. It's why we're here. You're on YouTube. You're talking wrestling and everything like that. You know, just to let you know, if you CM Punk has written comics before, Batista has written comics before. They've actually penned those comics. Kenny Omega in the future is probably going to be writing some comics over there. And then there's Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose from AEW is going to be writing her own comic coming up in the near future. So you can always, if you are a fan of any of those wrestlers, I'm assuming you follow them on Twitch and their channels and watch for gaming stuff. We got all that here too as well. So just because you're a wrestling fan, just because you're a WWE fan, just because you're an AEW fan, doesn't mean you can't come and hang out to other people who will be able to find them and talk the shop and talk and enjoy the stuff that you have. So.
All right. Did I give you enough time?
We are good. Dork Knight is back. I promoted the shop. You go back and watch it. We talked about what we have here, getting books in people's hands. We talked about Free Comic Book Day. We talked about
I was about to add. So you talked about Free Comic Book Day.
Did.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. So hey, man, can you put a good? I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Okay.
Brian hasn't got back to me yet. Can my charity do an event with you guys? Can we come out there in costume for Free Comic Book Day? Can you know?
You are putting me on the spot.
I am. So you can say no comment. You can say no comment.
I will give you the work as opposed to the shoot answer on this. I will give you the work answer for our audience that are watching this. Just like how there are multiple wrestling promotions and federations out there, there are multiple charities and cosplayers and kids charities in Las Vegas.
Has somebody else already approached you?
We have our contract with Critical Care. We've had, they're on our network, and the Las Vegas Cosplayers, which is a great organization, is just finding another network. Fox can't carry WWE.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Here's the thing. You guys wouldn't even be with Critical Care if it weren't for me. It's because of
free. I understand a lot of the work that you've done. Like that. But no,
look, we're two different charities. You can help multiple charities. Like, you can work with, like, I don't like, this is what I told here. So Heroes for Sale is a official donation drop-off location for Critical Care Comics.
Yeah.
Because I'm friends with Sean and I cultured that, just like I'm friends with Brian and I cultured the cosmic thing. So I approached Brian, because Brian's also like one of my best friends. So I
Right.
unfortunately I approached him from a more honest place, as terrible as that sounds. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't like blah blah blah. So when I hit up Sean, because Sean's a cool guy. Sean, I love you, bro. Like you
Right.
guys got to restart your podcast. But they still have their store on Sahara. Here it's called
Yeah.
Heroes for Sale LV. They are an official donation drop-off location for not only critical care, but also now for the Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance. But
Gotcha.
the way I approached him was, I was like, look, man, we'll literally anything but comics. And we'll even put in our flyers or whatever. If you want to donate comic books at this location,
Right.
they will go to Critical Care Comics. But anything else, board
Yeah.
games, toys, plushies, those will go to Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance. And he was like, yeah, I like that. That's cool, man. Yeah. So, and
Okay.
so we agreed any events we do with them, we'll do anything but superheroes. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
because we do Disney,
Okay.
we do everything, man. Like that's what I
Yeah.
love about this new charity is like they do everything. They do like Disney princesses, anime,
Yeah. On
ghost,
part one,
go,
you mentioned Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You had
yeah,
cosplayers that
Power
that
Rangers,
stuff.
like they do
Mhm.
all that. Dude, we got a Michael Jackson. It's like like literally like it's crazy. Like they have everything.
Was it?
I'm not
Hold
even
on.
kidding.
Okay. Was it the Michael Jackson that choked out a homeless guy on Fremont Street? Please tell me that was yours, guy. You know what
I
I'm
wish
talking
I
about?
could, but I do, but no, because our guy actually lives in I think like Minnesota or so. He doesn't live in
Oh, okay.
Vegas. Him and his
Okay.
girl.
Okay.
So because
Yeah.
they also do Harley and Joker. They're the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They
Yeah.
actually fly out. This is how much they believe in our charity.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers you were talking about, when we had kids request them at a hospital, they flew out for that.
Okay. Okay.
You know, because they're
I'll say
actually
this.
so the girl Rachel, she
Okay.
so they do all kinds of stuff. So she's so right now, so her dude Michael is the Michael Jackson, right? Or no?
Okay.
I might be confusing his name. That doesn't seem right. Michael Jackson. Sorry, Rachel. At least I remembered your name. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure his name's Michael, but he does Michael Jackson and she does Madonna. And so right now they're actually
Oh,
on a
okay.
cruise ship. They're on a cruise ship
Okay.
right now doing, you know,
Okay.
like performing as Michael Jackson and Madonna, like,
Right.
we have that shit out here in Vegas. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like we have a Whitney Houston show coming up. That woman's been dead for years, you know what I mean? But like it just is what it is,
Yeah.
So
I'll say.
I
I'll say this. I'll say this. I
okay.
am not opposed to opening the forbidden door. Let's call this the forbidden door for the Las Vegas charities and everything like that, and
That's
opposed to
great.
having
No,
some
I dude,
cross
I,
promotion.
I don't even care now. The fact that you called it the Forbidden Door, I love you. I love you, man. Like
So
that
I'm
was
not opposed.
chef's kiss.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. I can tell you for right now, for Free Comic Book Day, we're not having um, that aspect in the cosplayers and photo booth. We're still kind of easing into it for the pandemic we're in and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it would be something to where what we could. I'm not going to say no because I don't want to. I don't want to, hard no and never have that option. I'd like to keep options open.
Yeah.
But
Well, hey, if you need a
that
photographer,
forbidden door could be
yeah.
there.
If you need a photographer, I'm your guy. No, that's
You
I'm your guy.
if that
I'm your guy. I'm your guy.
there
I'm your
we were
guy.
kind of some ideas of having like a
Oh no. Well, it looks like we lost Roland for a little bit. Hopefully he'll be back. I guess the internet at Cosmic Comics is a little shoddy. Brian, get the higher tier package. I'll try to fill some space here. So I really wish Roland was here. So check out my t-shirt shop. Thanks to the guys at the podcast. It's mixedtees.com/dork-night. And you can check out my different shirt designs. Roland's texting me. Well, I'm new at this. And this is a live stream. So, hey, I have an idea. I was going to do this anyway. I was fortunate enough. We were just talking about my charity. So I was fortunate enough that the charity was working an event where there was like wrestling. And I don't really cosplay, but I have a pretty cool Mankind, and where is it? Your videos. And so I was there as Mankind one day, and there was these pro wrestlers there, and they were like, "Hey, your outfit's awesome. Can we, do you want to do you could come into the ring as Mankind and do a promo?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that would be like a dream come true." So while I wait for Roland to come back, and hopefully he gets here. It's only 3 minutes. This is me making my wrestling debut thanks to the charity I'm a part of now. I'm the marketing director for the Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance, and that's CAUSE. But so let's check it out. I hope you enjoy. Oh, I messed up. Hold, please. I was supposed to share the sound as well. You guys got to remember, I'm new at this. I'm sorry. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. And hopefully Roland will be back soon.
All right, we got a real treat coming up for you guys right now. Being accompanied by the Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance, this is Mankind!
What? Seriously? I love that.
Is that really good? Give me a Spider-Man, everybody. Rosso.
So hey, well, he disappeared again. Never mind.
I want to tell you a little story. Mrs. Foley's baby boy didn't raise a monster, even though everybody thinks I won. Because I'm here to tell you about the best charity in Las Vegas. It's called the Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance. We visit children.
Okay, you back?
In hospitals, homeless shelters, cancer treatment facilities, grieving therapy. We go to schools, we read the kids dressed as not just superheroes, but all of the fandoms, like Disney, Pixar, like Frozen, like Marvel Comics superheroes like Spider-Man. And of course, wrestlers such as myself. I want to cordially invite everyone tonight at 9 o'clock to the Nerd. We're going to have a raffle, a costume contest, and a fundraiser. And if you show your badge, you get a free shot and a free raffle ticket. And I'm here to tell any of you And anyone in the back, if they have a problem with that, they can take it out. You sucker! I'll give you a problem. Have a nice day! Give it up to the Las Vegas cosplayers and Alliance, everybody. Cheer a little bit louder, Mikey needs to wake up. Oh my God, he forgot his sword.
Well, I was hoping by the end of that video, my buddy Roland would be back. But apparently he's having technical difficulties because my buddy Brian is such a Jew. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm going to get canceled now. He's so cheap that he doesn't get the good internet. He gets the cheap internet, which is fine. It's whatever. So I'll go back to talking about WrestleMania. You know, I guess I'll just do it without Roland. Oh, hey, he's back. I think maybe.
Yay, okay.
Are you there?
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank God. Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
well, it worked out. I just finished showing my Mankind video.
Nice. Yeah, it's really cool. Okay. Post it on your socials. Let people see it.
Do what?
Post it on your socials. Let people see it.
Oh, I already did. Like that was from like a month or two ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so anyways, so
my phone died, went to 1% battery, and says we're shutting off now. So I had to jump back to the iPad, see if that does that. I'm in my workshop, but we don't have AV stuff set up, so I got to do it off of my equipment.
Garbage. Hey, I know a guy that could help you guys with that. Just saying. So it's pretty cheap.
I'm trying to convince my owner to do it, but. So I see we got a little under 13 minutes left before this hour ends and part 2 goes and finishes up.
Yeah, we got to finish up. Come on. Yeah.
We're going to talk about two things. One, I wanted to talk about Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. What did you think about that and Stone Cold over the whole weekend?
So, I'm glad it ended up the way that it did, but I don't understand why they didn't just promote it as a match. But I get it's cool. Like, dude, it was awesome. Are you kidding me? We got one last match with Steve Austin, Yeah. And the fact that he took the bumps that he took in that suplex, like we were talking about earlier, that suplex on the concrete, like shit, I think he's got another run in him, man. Like I don't know, but what do you think?
Maybe he challenges Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
I think Steve has too many interests outside of WWE to do another run in him. But no, I thought he probably did it the right way to be prepared. And that was one of the things kind of leading up to it. Why haven't they done it sooner? Is like he wanted to know what he was doing so he could be trained and prepared and not have a bad, return after so many match.
We got a match, and we got a good match, and it was a no holds barred match, and it was everywhere. Why the hell would they just not promote that it was going to be why call it a Kevin Owens show? Like that's my
part of the behind the scenes stuff is they didn't get that finalized until late. He agreed to the appearance, but they were having on different sides of should he do a match, how should it go. I'm sure payment was involved with everything, so they
is it like a Bret Hart thing? Does he have a Lloyd's of London insurance contract and he couldn't do do you know?
I don't
because that's why Bret Hart had to do a street match like 10-12 years ago, because he had a Lloyd's of London contract, which is a insurance company in England, where because Goldberg basically ended his fucking career. He filed a claim and got, because he lost millions and millions of dollars because some asshole didn't know how to work. And so he filed a claim on his insurance to get a portion of the money, not even a like a very small portion of what he would have got. And Bret Hart's been very vocal about this, and because of that, he was that's why he had to wear, he couldn't wear his, and I always wanted to know this because it bugged the shit out of me. That's why he couldn't wear his wrestling singlet at WrestleMania when he fought Vince. That's why they couldn't have a wrestling match. They had a street fight. That's why.
I don't know if there was anything like that behind it. I imagine it was more of just contracts, details, figuring stuff out, Stone Cold wanting control or creative control, and certain things. Just they figured it out at the end, but couldn't figure it out 2 months ago.
Okay,
so let's call it a segment. Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, we did get to see the match. We see some moves,
dude, and it was
good. Yeah,
it was awesome. It was awesome. Like Kevin Owens. I was because this was Saturday. Kevin Owens took a good stunner, sold a good stunner.
Yes,
I loved it. But dude, like Scott Hall, The Rock, and now Austin Theory. Those are the 3 best sells of the Stone Cold Stunner I've ever seen. You know what I mean? And I think it goes Austin Theory. I hate to say this, Austin Theory, then Scott Hall,
then The Rock.
Then The Rock. Yeah, in that order. But those are the 3 best sells.
Shout out to Byron Saxton, who actually took a stunner Saturday and did not get kicked in the dick this time. So I'm sure he was happy.
I didn't. One, for me, it was forgettable because I already saw it. I get why they did it again because it was in front of people, and that's probably like Byron Saxton was like, please, can we do this? Because like last time it was in the Thunderdome, but at least he didn't get kicked in the dick or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we only have a few minutes left, so let's go over the rest. What's the next?
Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville. That's the only other one I really want to cover. What'd you think of Jackass?
So WrestleMania has always had a celebrity angle.
Yeah.
Like from the first one, like Cyndi Lauper to what's his name? Lawrence Taylor to Mike Tyson. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. T. They've always had celebrities. I loved it. I thought it was great. The only thing that was unfortunate was the fact that the mousetrap gimmick at the end didn't work, and he had to go manually. Other than that, it was like if the mousetrap would have worked the way it was supposed to, it'd have been a 5-star match. But because of that mousetrap fucking up, I'll give it 4 stars. But no, it was
4 stars.
I was entertained. I was sports entertained. Like, what about you? Yeah.
No, sufficiently sports entertained. Smile from ear to ear, laughing, grinning the whole time. My neighbors probably heard me during that match more than any other one. It did what it was supposed to do. I got out of it what I wanted to get out of it. Props to Sami Zayn for taking all those bumps. They were able to showcase Johnny Knoxville well, and he got his ass whooped a few times. It just, again, and that's something for most of these matches, and especially with the celebrities or with the older comebacks with Austin and McMahon, they were structured from start to finish really well. Maybe the builds weren't the best, but from bell to bell, in between the ropes of how they put it together, they maximized people's strengths and they hid their weaknesses, and you were able to get a great match out of that from
totally
all the McAfee.
So I know this is the last match that you care about. It's not the last match I care about. We got less than 6 minutes. Let me keep talking.
Okay.
All right. AJ Styles versus Edge. That Edge entrance was fucking awesome. Come on, man. Come on.
His new character. Yeah. I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. I knew he was going to lose. I don't like the fact that he lost, so I'm a little bitter. AJ is one of my top 3 of all time. The Damian Priest angle, that's the only wonky finish, weird angle of the whole weekend, and it had to happen to AJ Styles.
Yeah,
Damian
look,
and AJ's
I didn't like
"What
it for I didn't like it for a totally different reason, because that cheapens Edge's win. And
Yeah,
I wanted Edge to win definitively.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I didn't
yeah.
want some
I mean,
wonky ass schmoz finish. But I get what you're
we were
saying.
supposed to get AJ Edge earlier
So
in Edge's return here, but yeah.
Yeah, so on the after show, did you see Edge bring out Damian Priest and like start their new stable?
Yeah,
Like
on Raw.
they're
Yeah, the new,
yeah.
They've been
So
rumoring while Edge was going to get a new stable. There's at least one other member, if not two, that they're going to introduce.
so Rhea Ripley was rumored as one,
Yeah.
and who was there was a dude. Who's the other dude that was rumored as one?
I've seen a handful of names for him, but it was supposed to be another guy, and yes, there was going to be a 4-man stable, three single male wrestlers, and Rhea, the female wrestler.
All right. All right. Well, we only got a few minutes left. So, Bobby Lashley versus Omos. That was a garbage match. Give me your quick opinion. I get
so larger scale for there were 4 instances on this WrestleMania where some kind of streak was broken that they just threw away as a throw-in line and didn't even build up to it.
Happy Corbin. Yeah. Nobody's ever kicked out of the end of days.
I thought the match was over. End of days. How the fuck do you kick out of end of
Nobody's
days?
ever. That was literally the first time anybody's ever kicked out of the end of days.
Ronda breaking the figure 8. That's the first person to ever not tap figure 8. And then Ronda getting first singles one-on-one loss. That's how you could have had your build if Omos was going to lose to Lashley. After Lashley took down Omos on the Go Home show and took him off his feet, which was the first time Omos was ever off his feet, like, okay, Omos is going to get the return win, and that was Lashley's big pop for the feud. And then you beat him. And then you fucking have MVP turn on Bobby on the WrestleMania after.
Oh, that was gold, dude. Oh my God, are we gonna have to do a part 3? We have less than 3 minutes left. All right, well then let me. Okay, all right. So then be quicker. All right, so we had the fatal 4-way match for the women's tag team titles. Neither of us give a shit about that, right?
It was good that 8 women got to get on the card, 8 wrestlers got to get on the card, but that's why that was.
Neither of us give a shit. The Kofi Kingston, the New Day match, that was bullshit. That was like what, like 30 seconds or a minute and a half or some shit.
That was the flex match for time, and sadly it was them, and they got flexed out.
And it was supposed to be on Saturday originally.
Yeah.
But
so they got in a tough spot.
So Charlotte Flair, you talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey. Yeah, actually, screw that. You already talked about it.
Yeah.
For me, you know what I loved that stole night 1?
What was that?
Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
That match was so fucking good. I know it was so good. Because there was so much they did the tease at the beginning where like Becky does the manhandle slam in the first like 10 seconds and tries to so give me your thoughts on that match, because you know what, if this is the last match we're going to talk about, and I'm good with that. So
I'm not a big fan of Becky Lynch. I'm not. I mean, I cheered for her at SummerSlam when she came out, but she's not one of the wrestlers I watch. I really wasn't invested into this feud since SummerSlam. I'm like, okay.
Are you kidding me? You were at SummerSlam live.
Yeah. Oh no.
She comes out at SummerSlam. She beats her in 30 some odd seconds in a fucked up way. Becomes a heel when she was a huge baby face. This was one of my most anticipated matches, for me personally.
It was my least, probably just because I'm not invested in the wrestlers or the characters. With that said, I thought the match was structured really well to play off of their 9-month-long feud, however long it's been going. They did it really well. Top 3 of in-ring wrestling for the weekend, for it. So they put on a show. But I mean, and I was like, cool. Great, but it wasn't a most anticipated or a top one for me. No, but I can give it the respect it deserves. So
Fair enough. All right. Well, hey,
20
with that, ladies and
seconds.
gentlemen, we have less than 20. Yeah, we have less than 20 seconds left. So thank you for watching. And if you like it, let us know and we'll do this again. And I might shell out the $20, $25 a month to do this longer than an hour.
Hey, we're still going. It hasn't kicked us off yet.